Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today from the 8th circle of hell. I thought there were only 7, but after laying out and getting my son, I found out there's 8. Man, it's hot, hot, hot. You guys need to come on down and join me. Don't forget, I haven't mentioned in a lot of videos back, I need somebody as a roommate come mid to late April, so keep that in mind. Anyhow, the title of this one today, you can substitute, the title would just would have gotten way too long. You can substitute raw till 4 in there, you can substitute high carb vegan, you can substitute starch solution, you can substitute any of them. I've talked about this before, how people dealing with the haters and dealing with people that are giving you a hard time on your path. Well, I'm starting to notice more and more, like, some of the folks are a little bit asking for it. Now, I'm going to be gentle here because I know how it is. Whether, the new convert is always the most anxious. The new convert is always very anxious to share his new message. The new convert probably feels a lot better than they've ever felt on this lifestyle and has this feeling like they must preach the word to everybody. Now, I'm going to give you some advice right now. Some of you might like it, some of you might not. Avoid that whatever it is inside you that calls you to go forth and preach the message. And like I say, I'm always talking about wasting time and doing these things and that, and I just see a lot of time, wasted. Going back and forth over trying to explain to people that maybe are not even interested in your message, maybe they're hostile to your message, maybe you've made them hostile to your message by, bugging them about this lifestyle all the time. Nobody's ever going to come to a major lifestyle change if you think you're going to nag and just chip away at it, probably people are just going to dig their heels in a little bit deeper. When you're ready to make your change, you're ready to make your change. And what a lot of people I don't think realize, and no, I don't think too many people have like bad intentions with it, but or really mean to be self-righteous, but for most of us out there, haven't been doing this thing the majority of our life. So I like to always turn the table and ask you, what would you think, if like 5, 6, 7 years ago when you were living unhealthy, if you were living unhealthy, would just somebody coming and preaching at you every day, would that have made a big impact on your life, or would you have most likely, told the person to buzz off? I think this whole thing, and it goes against human nature, and I've thought about this a lot, like if I had come to this lifestyle at a younger age, how different it would have probably been, because I think, even though it sucks getting older, there is a little bit of wisdom and slowing down that comes with that. I'm not so anxious like I used to be. If I'd have come to this lifestyle when I was in my 30s even, possibly even still in my younger 40s, I would have probably been the hellfire brimstone preacher of raw food, because I had more of that personality, and maybe I just hadn't mellowed out. I think we do get a lot more mellow with age, but I just do not. But even before this lifestyle change, I just have never been one. I just don't have a driving will or desire to change your mind. I'm always happy to help anybody that comes and asks me any kind of questions, whether it be in real life or on the internet. But as far as the sparring and stuff going and having all my information just sitting around so I can defend the cause at any point or at any time that might rise up, sorry, you might not like me for saying this, I just don't care enough to do that. I'm interested in furthering my path. I'm interested in learning the things that will further my path that I can share with other people. But, sometimes it's almost like they're ready for you to see if you're going to swing on them or something. Like, people come at you and they almost expect, okay, what you're going to give me back? Well, I'm not going to give you anything back. I don't, you're an adult, I'm assuming, and you have a right to believe and eat and do anything you want. Point of all of this is just we can make more impact in people's lives, on people's health, on this planet, just by being a good example. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Actions speak louder than words. We have all kind of little sayings and cliches that seem to reinforce this, but yet in day-to-day life we don't tend to remember that all the time. Now, Some people you would even go so far as I'm seeing it from a little bit different angle now. Now, don't anybody misunderstand. I'm not saying bullying or being hateful to people is right under any circumstances, but there was always that kid in school that got bullied. Well, there was generally more than one kid in school that would get bullied, but there was always that one that you just like, come on, bro, you're just like making it worse. You're inviting it to yourself. And, you know, I think a lot of people are so gung-ho with this lifestyle and they want to be so aggressive and in your face with it that they're drawing that fire. And then sometimes they fall flat on their face, especially in the beginning, because you don't always have, then sometimes you're left speechless because you don't have all the facts yet. You don't have everything down. You don't have all that knowledge to, you know, combat people and just like, you know, knock away all those objections point by point. And nobody is happy in that exchange. The person that is being preached to isn't happy. The person that's doing the preaching generally doesn't walk away happy because, you know, they've either gotten into some confrontation, they've drawn some sort of hateful behavior out of another person, and all for what? And then at the end of the day, you know, you can say, okay, what did I do? What did I do with my day? I went back and forth, batting around a topic that changed nobody's mind when I could have been doing something that could actually further my learning, further my thinking, or further my body on this path. And I would also say too, and I'm going to tread real lightly on this one because sometimes I shared a photo last night, and now there is different, you know, there's language barriers down here because even a lot of my friends that are bilingual, they don't understand every trace of everything. I showed this guy from the profile, had a big belly out to here, and the point of this one was I was talking about heart attack belly, that specific, you know, fat that you carry around your stomach that's a big indicator of heart disease, or that, you know, quite frankly, you're probably going to drop a heart attack at some point if you don't do something. And when you talk about like things like that, people always kind of get a little defensive and think you're talking about the appearance, the vanity. So when I'm talking about anything to do with appearance, it's just more like, yes, when we start getting healthy, we're going to have a healthier appearance. In the beginning too, that can be a downfall. Or not a downfall, but that can be something that can get somebody in trouble really quick or get their feelings hurt really quick. And let's say, you know, you've just started on this path for a couple of months. You feel all the changes, you're confident in this, and you have every right to be. Now, I can look at you, even if you're 70, 80, 90 pounds overweight, and I can hear you talk about what you're doing with your lifestyle, and I see that person that's going to be healthy. A lot of people, if they're not living this lifestyle, they're not. If you're still carrying that 60, 70 pounds of weight, or if you have, you know, the bad skin or the whatever, you're going to have to heal. And you're going to be a much more effective message for people, you know, once you've kind of actually done some of the work and gotten some of the healing yourself. What I'm getting at is don't be afraid to talk about your lifestyle, and don't hide because you're not, you know, what you want to be yet. But let's just face it, that's how the world is. If you're, you know, if you're considerably not looking healthy, whether it's weight, skin, just, you know, black bags under your eyes, whatever, that you still have, you don't have that appearance of like just thriving health yet, you're going to tend to get a lot of, you know, that back at you, like, you know, well, if this is working so well for you, you know. So that can keep you out of some hurt feelings in the beginning. But all in all, I just say walk your walk. Walk your walk and do your thing, and quit worrying so much about what anybody thinks about what else you're doing. Or either stop it. Stop it. If you don't listen, you got to figure out, is this something, is this real, or is this another fad in your opinion? Only you can answer that. That's a rhetorical question. Do you believe in this lifestyle of all the things and all the little sayings we all batter around? Do you really believe it, or is it just the next you know, trend that you're on right now? Okay, step 2, if you do really believe this to be the healthiest way of living, if you do believe that you're doing the right thing for yourself, just stop worrying about everything else outside of that. Just put your head down, do the work, let the results come when they come at your pace, And then people are going to start taking notice without you saying a word. You could be a mute. You could never speak a word. And especially if people see the change. I mean, even if you went to a new town as a healthy person, people are generally going to see those eyes. They're going to see that skin. They're just going to see the way you carry yourself. But if you're around people that you've known for a long time and they've actually seen you drop that 60 or however many pounds, they've seen the skin go from bad to good, they've seen these eyes go from muddy, droopy looking things to just bright beams of light, you don't have to say one word. They're going to get the message. And you're going to get there a lot faster because you're not like wasting half your day trying to convince people of something that they're probably not interested in at this point. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. What are we? We're Wednesday again, so you're almost getting towards that weekend. How'd that groundhog work out for you? Is winter going to be short, or is it going to be longer? Man, I'm hoping for you. Every day that goes by, I'm like, okay, my friends up north, they're getting a little bit closer to some warm spring-like weather. I know it may not be that close, but hang in there. It'll be there before you know it. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the week, and love all of you. Peace.